for my morning walk, and I was thinking, a lot of people have been at home or in the workplace kind of stuck with a lot of close and perhaps tense interactions. And I had a situation happen that I wanted to share because it might help with dealing with difficult interactions during this time. Um, because human nature is such that we sometimes don't make the right choice in dealing with, when there are emotions that are getting high. So I was in a conversation with someone, and we finished the conversation, and then actually the next day they called me up and they said, you said something in our conversation that seemed okay at the time, but when I thought about it, I was really hurt by it. I thought, why would you say something like that? So right there was a place for me mentally to say, okay, we've got two things going on here. One, that person is hurt. And two, why would I say what I said? Okay, there's a question there. So they were kind of very emotional about this and saying, that really hurt my feelings. You need to apologize, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so here's where I want to stop a second and talk about this. If I was walking along and carrying a board over my shoulder and, maybe I was building something or moving a broom or something like that, and I turned around and it happened to hit you in the head. Now, what would I say? Would I say, oh, yeah, you're being awful sensitive, or it really wasn't that hard, or it was just an accident? No, I would say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Right? So when you say something to somebody and it hurts them, just like with the board, I didn't mean to hit them with that board and hurt them. Well, when I said what I did to this person, I didn't mean to hurt them. That was not my intention. So I'm not going to say to them, oh, you're too sensitive. Or, oh, golly, well, that was not my intention. I didn't mean to hurt you. No. What we're dealing with here is they were hurt, right? Doesn't matter why. You can't tell somebody how to feel if they were hurt by something you said. Well, it's just like, think of the analogy with the board. I mean, what would you do? What should you do? You should say, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. And, you can add if you want to, if it's true. Oh, that was not my intention. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Well, that made everything okay, except then, I was wondering, could I explain to them? And when they allowed me to speak further, because like I said, the emotions were pretty high. I said, okay, can I explain why I said that? And I told them, that was just how I was feeling or thinking about things, and it just seemed an appropriate place in the conversation to mention it. And they said to me, well, I want you to know that that's a kind of sensitive area for me, and could you maybe not go there when we're talking? And I said, absolutely. I had no idea. And anyway, everything ended just fine. And then a little bit later, they called me back and they said, listen, I really appreciated that you listened to what I had to say. And I know that I was kind of you know, emotional and difficult about it. But I am working on in my life dealing with situations where I get hurt and bringing those up and addressing those. And, I'm just, it's a little bit hard right now. And I thought, this is so awesome because I felt like they were kind of, whoa, in the first conversation, where is this going to go? But the fact is, they were aware that they were kind of a little bit on the intense side too. Now, this happened to turn out well. I will admit that many situations in my life where I've tried to handle things in a compassionate or diplomatic way, it hasn't turned out well. We're not all on the same wavelength. We're not all always trying to work on the same kind of thing. But I will say this. If you have a difficult interaction with someone and they say that they're hurt, don't try to tell them they're being overly sensitive. Don't try to tell them they shouldn't be hurt or it wasn't intentional or any other excuse. They were hurt. And think about my analogy with the board. Okay? You didn't intend to do it. It was an accident, but they were still hurt. Okay? So you need to deal with that in a way that will help them to not feel so hurt. Okay, I just want to share that with you. I hope that it's going to be helpful. Sometimes hearing a cool voice of reason can help you to get out of highly emotional situations. Have a good day.